Hey, my name's Katie, and I'm so glad that you're joining us today at Mid-City Church. As we get started with worship, I want to invite you to take out your cell phone and text the word HERE, H-E-R-E, to the phone number 225-307-0662. When you do that, you'll get a text back with a couple of links. The first one is to our Connect card. I really want to encourage you to fill out the Connect card because we want to know who's worshiping with us today. You'll also get a link to give today. Here at Mid-City Church, we believe that giving is a spiritual practice, and I want to encourage you to do that as you worship today. Well, I am excited for the series that we're in right now. It's called Hurry, and it's about how we can eliminate hurry from our lives. I'm glad you're here. Get ready, because worship begins now.
Nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, there is nothing worth more that will ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. Your presence, let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
One of the biggest differences between my freshman year of college in 2007 and today is how much easier it was to be present in the moment back then. Now, do you remember what happened in 2007, or maybe know what I'm talking about that changed things? June 29th, 2007, a month before I started college, Apple released its first ever iPhone, costing a whopping $499 for the 4 gigabyte model and $599 for the 8 gigabyte model. This device changed the world without us even knowing about it. Now, if I remember correctly, I personally did not get my first iPhone until the fall of 2009, and the only reason that happened was because people started selling jailbroken phones. And basically all that meant was that people were able to bypass the software so that your phone could be compatible with any mobile provider. So back then, before then, the only way that you could have an iPhone is if you would get a 2-year contract with AT&T. And so I was a T-Mobile customer. Having an iPhone was not even a possibility until jailbroken phones became a thing. But I've got to tell you, if you remember a world pre-iPhones, you know that they really did change a lot. For starters, my daily pocket check became way less complicated. See, today, right before I leave my house, right before I walk out the front door, there's 3 things I do. I check my front pocket for my wallet, my back pocket for my phone, and my left pocket for my keys. And as long as I have all those things, I know that I'm good to go for the whole day. But back then, before the iPhones, I had to do a backpack check more than a pocket check. See, on top of carrying my flip phone at the time, my wallet, and my keys, I had to pack a backpack according to what I was going to do for the day. So, if I planned on listening to music at any point, I had to bring my iPod. And this thing does not have headphones, so I also had to pack my headphones with it. And if I was going to be going to the office, going to work, I had to bring my planner because this is how I knew about meetings and what was happening that day. And if I was planning on using the internet at some point, I would bring my laptop and carry this thing around in my backpack all day. And it wasn't this, it was an older computer, but it was thick, you know what I'm talking about. So I would, if I was gonna travel anywhere and didn't know where I was going, I would bring my Garmin GPS and stick it on my windshield, and I could go anywhere I wanted after that. And if I was gonna take any pictures, I would bring my 10 megapixel camera and just take pictures all day. And this and so much more would just travel with me anywhere I went. So my backpack was always really heavy. But today, all these things fit in this. Today, all of these things can be used just in this one device, and it even has speakers. I don't have to bring headphones unless you don't want to be the obnoxious person at the store with music blasting from your phones, but everything fits in this one device now, right? I have music, I have my calendar, I have a GPS, I have a camera, I have everything that I need in this one device. iPhones really did change our lives, and they made them so much easier, but iPhones also, along with a whole bunch of new technology, took away our ability to be present in the moment. iPhones, along with so much new technology, took away our ability to be present in the moment. Think about it. Have you ever been on vacation, whether it's with family or friends, and you started checking your work email? Have you ever sat down for a movie night and you were too busy texting? Have you ever been at dinner with friends or a significant other and you had to step away for a work call? See, I truly believe that while these devices helped improve our lives, it helped make them more efficient and even helps us stay more connected with people all around the world, right? They're really good things. At the same time, we lost our ability to be present because these devices keep us connected to our hurry and our busyness. Now, if you stop to think about it, you realize that this is actually a big deal. Considering that so many of us feel stressed and always busy and overwhelmed and overworked and overscheduled and always in a hurry, staying connected to our hurry and our busyness actually keeps us from being able to listen for the voice of God. John Mark Comer, in his book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, he says this quote. He says, "The noise of the modern world makes us deaf to the voice of God, drowning out the one input we most need." See, when we choose to constantly stay connected to our hurry and our busyness, what we're saying is that we place more hope in our hurry and our busyness than we do in God. When we choose to stay constantly connected to our hurry and to our busyness, what we are saying is that those things are more important than God in our lives. When we choose to constantly stay connected to our hurry and to our busyness, what we are saying is that those things are more life-giving than being present in the moment. But let me ask you, if that's you, and I'll raise my hand, that is me, if that's you, how is it working out for you? How is it working out to be always connected to your work, always connected to your phone, always connected to your busyness and your hurry? My guess is that it's not really working out for us. And maybe it's time that we put aside our hurry, that we put aside our busyness, and we try something new. I want you to listen to the story from Luke chapter 10. Now, as they went on their way, he entered a certain village where there was a woman named Martha who welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary chose the better part, which will not be taken away from her." See, Martha does what most of us would have done when guests show up unexpectedly at our homes. She probably started tidying up the house, right? She maybe ran to the kitchen table and picked up the clean, folded laundry and took it to the bedroom, right? Maybe she started making food or some sort of snack. Maybe she went to the guest room to tidy up the room for Jesus to sleep. See, her first response in this moment is to think to herself, there is so much work to be done. I should get to it. Now, we've all done that, right? I mean, we've all been in those places where there's so much to do that our natural response is to say, let's get to work. But her sister Mary does the opposite. Scripture tells us that Mary sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what Jesus was saying. See, out of these two, between Martha and Mary, can you guess who Jesus is calling us to be more like? Mary. Jesus wants us to, like Mary, to be present in the moment, because when we are present, we can hear the voice of Jesus. See, both Mary and Martha were within earshot of Jesus' voice. Both of them could hear the voice of Jesus, but only Mary, the one who chose to be present, actually heard what Jesus had to say. See, there was stuff that needed to be done, but one of them knew that it could wait, because that moment that they were in was about being present with Jesus. Let me ask you, what are you prioritizing over being present with Jesus? Is it football? Is it work? Is it TikTok? Is it video games? What are you constantly prioritizing, sometimes without even knowing it, over being present with Jesus? See, being present, being willing to let everything else wait so that you can focus on your surroundings, frees us up to hear the voice of God. And that is one of the most life-giving things that you and I can do, especially in a world where feeling overwhelmed, extremely busy, completely behind, and always in a hurry seems to be the norm. And let me say this, if you want to break these norms, then we have to practice being present in the moment. We have to find time to turn off our phones and be present. We have to stop checking our emails all the time. We have to stop texting during family time. If we're going to break the hurry and busyness of our lives, then we have to live countercultural to this world by letting everything else wait and instead finding time to be present in the moment. And when we do that, we can hear the voice of Jesus. Friends, are you tired of being tired? Are you tired of being overwhelmed and overworked and always in a hurry and always on the edge of burnout? Are you tired of feeling like you don't have enough time to finish everything you need to finish? Are you at the point where you're ready to just give up because it feels like the busyness and the hurry will never stop? Then take a moment to be present. Like Mary, know that the work can wait, despite the mountains of work that has to be finished. See, being present enough to listen to Jesus is always more important and more life-giving than getting the work done. Will you pray with me? Gracious and loving God, you are a God who knows that there is work to be done and stuff that needs to be done and things to accomplish and stuff to do. But you're also the God, the same God who looks at us and says, be present. Stop and be present. God, I pray that just as Jesus reminded Martha to put all those things aside and to just simply be present with Jesus, God, may we learn to put everything aside and to simply be present with Jesus. God, we want to eliminate busyness and hurry from our lives. I pray that this may be one of many steps towards doing that. Amen. Well, hey, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I just want to give you a quick announcement. If you want to go deeper into this conversation, I want to invite you to text the word GROW, G-R-O-W, to the number 225-307-0662. When you do that, you'll get a text message back with a link to a home sheet. The home sheet is going to include our scripture from today, some questions to think about, and an action plan for how to live this out. So I want to invite you to do that so you can go deeper on your own with your coworkers, with family, with whoever you want to go deeper with. Well, I'm so thankful that you joined us, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye. God bless.